Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to learn about the LPC2148 timers and counters, right? Last lecture we learned about the LPC2148 architecture, its features. Okay, I hope you have gone through that video and you understood it. In case if you have doubt, you can ask me, no problem. Now we are going to learn about the timers and counters of LPC2148 or ARM7. Now first of all we will see what is the purpose of the timer and how you can use it for the time delay as well as counting actions, right? uh, Remember, whenever we are going to design the timers, then internally you need internally there are two types of timers, like timer 0 and timer 1s are present, right? So you can able to enable these timers and counters. So generally the purpose of the timer is to provide the time delay, and the purpose of the counter is to take the counting action. Generally the timing and counting action will be totally dependent on the different things. Okay, so generally the timer's action is totally dependent on the internal clock frequencies, and the counting is totally dependent on the external event which are happen. Okay, so here we will go for learning that what is that timers and counters, right? See, over the slide I have given something. Okay, so here I have given some sort of calculations. Okay, uh, timer is a specific type of clock which is used to measure the time interval. So here we can able to measure the time interval. Okay, for that it is most commonly it is used. Okay, as well as we can able to give the delay. Okay, it provides or measure the time interval by counting the input clocks. Every timer need a clock to work. We can provide or measure any time interval if we know the time of one clock period. Let's we take example. So let's say we have 1 kilohertz input clock frequency for the timer unit. Okay, just I have given one example, but actually in our ARM7 you can find the frequency will be different. Okay, but here for giving understanding point of view, here I have considered one frequency, that is 1 kilohertz clock input frequency for the timer unit. Then we can calculate the time of one clock period. Okay, so the time of one clock period is equal to 1 by clock frequency. So that's why here 1 upon 1000 will be the frequency. So you will get 1 millisecond. Okay, that will be the time period of one clock. Now 1000 clock count provides a time interval of 1 second, and hence we can provide 1 second delay with these 1000 clock counts. Now we can we have the time period of one clock. We can use this time period to generate delay that are integer multiple of its. We can also use the time period to measure the time interval between the specific events of a received signal, right? Second thing that I want to tell you here. Okay, here we can also use it as a counter. So that's why counter is the unit which is similar to the timer but works in reverse manner to the timers. It count the external events, or we can say external clock ticks. It is mostly used to measure the frequency from the counts of clock ticks. Let's we see a counter is a measuring count of external clock tick, and frequently its count reaches 2000 in 1 second. That is 2000 clocks ticks per second. Now we can calculate external clock frequency as external clock frequency is equal to count of clocks divided by 1 second. So here 2000 will be the clock count, it will be divided by 1, so that's why it will be the frequency, that is 2 kilohertz. Hence we can measure such a external clock or event frequency using counter. There are many applications for which we can use these timers and counters in real world applications. Okay, now I am giving you idea about the timers which are available in your ARM7. Okay, so LPC2148 has two 32-bit timers or counters. Timer 0 or counter 0 and timer 1 or counter 1, okay, are the names of this internal timer or counter. LPC2148 timer has input of peripheral clock or an external clock. It counts the clock from the either of these clocks source for its operation. LPC2148 timers or counter can generate an interrupt signal at a specified time value. LPC2148 has match register that contain count value, which is continuously compared with the value of the timer registers. When the value in the timer register match the value in the match register, specific action is taken. Okay, either a timer get reset or timer get started or timer get stop, okay, or it will generate an interrupt. Okay, so any action you can carry out with the help of these registers. For information about LPC2148, compare and match operation, refer timer compare mode. Okay, also LPC2148 has capture register which can be used to capture the timer value on a specific external event on capture pins. For detailed information about LPC2148 capture operations, you can refer the input capture mode. Okay, now here I am giving you idea about the general purpose timers or counters event counter. So here you can see the timer or counter is designed to count the cycles of the peripheral clock or an externally supplied clock and optionally generates interrupt or perform other actions at specified timer values based on 4 match register. It also includes 4 capture input to trap the timer value when an input signal transitions, optionally generating an interrupt. Multiple pin can be selected to perform a single capture or match functions provides an applications with or and as well as broadcast functions among them. Now here we will see what is capture in the timer and counter. So see, the capture control register is used to control whether one of the 4 capture register is loaded with the value in the timer counter. When the capture event occurs and whether an interrupt is generated by the capture event, setting both the rising and falling bits at the same time is a valid configurations, resulting in a capture event for both edges. So remember, this is about the capture. So generally the capture is used for in this way. Similarly, I am telling you here what is prescaler. So that's why prescaler is actually a binary ripple counter that is put before the actual timer. The ripple counter simply counts the clock source and provides output of divide by 2, 4, 8, 16, 32 and so on. You can select the divide ratio as the prescaler value, and the timer in question sees a lower frequency of the input clock. Okay. Now here a few features are given related to these timers and counter. 32-bit timer or counter with a programmable 32-bit prescaler is available. External event counter or timer operation is possible. For 32-bit capture channel per timer or counter that can take a snapshot of the timer value when an input signal transitions. A capture event may also optionally generates an interrupt. For 32-bit match register that allows continuous operation with optional interrupt generations on match. Stop timer on match with optional interrupt generation. Resetting timers on match with optional interrupt generation. For external output per timer or counter corresponding to match register with the following capabilities: set low on match, set high on match, toggle on match, or do nothing on match. These are the capabilities of match register. So whatever the count you can set for timing or counting, you can set low, high, or toggle or do nothing on match action. Okay. This is the internal diagram of the timer and counter. Okay. So this diagram is telling you about the match register, match control register, external match register, interrupt register, control unit of the timer counter, then a capture control register. Okay, and some logic gates. Okay, they are used for the timer or counter actions. Okay, it is not necessary to remember this diagram. Okay, only for your information's point of view, I have given you such a internal setup for the timer and counter is present. Okay, now here actually whenever you are going to handle this timer and counter, you should know the basic concept of all these registers and timer and counter. Okay, so you should know how many registers are present and what will be their work. Okay, so that's why I have given briefly register name and description, then later on I am giving the purposes of these registers. So here first is a IR, that is interrupt register. The IR can be read to identify which of 6, means here for match and to capture register are present. Okay, it is possible. Okay, interrupt sources are pending. Writing logic 1 will clear the corresponding interrupt. TCR is a timer control register. The TCR is used to control the timer counter function. It will enable, disable or reset as the timing or counting action will carried out. TC is a timer counter register. The 32-bit TC is incremented every clock cycle, that is a PR plus 1 cycle of PCLK. The TC is controlled through the TCR. Then PR is a prescaler register. It is used to specify the prescaler value for incrementing the TC. PC is prescaler counter. The 32-bit PC means prescaler counter is a counter which is incremented to the value stored in PR, which when the value in PR is reached, the TC is incremented. Then a CTCR is count control register. The CTCR select between timer and counter mode, and in the counter mode select the signal and H for counting. Then MR0 to MR3 are the four match register. The match register value are continuously compared to the timer counter value. When the two values are equal, action can be triggered automatically. The action possibilities are to generate an interrupt, reset the timer counter, or stop the timer. Actions are controlled by the setting in the MCR register. MCR is a match control register. The MCR is used to control the resetting of TC and generating of interrupt whenever a match occurs. CR0 to CR4 total 5 registers are there for capture register. TC value is loaded in this capture register when there is an event on the, here shortcut names are given. CAP N is a number, okay, so that's why it is a capture number register, that is a, okay, CAP 1230, okay, that number is given, so that's why here, okay, it is given CAP N.0 to CAP N.4. Then a CCR is a capture control register. The CCR controls which edges of the capture input are used to load the capture register and whether or not an interrupt is generated when a capture takes place. So these are the registers are available with the timer and counter. Okay. Now here I am giving you idea about what the registers are and how you can understand this register. Now in front of you you can see interrupt register. Now I am giving you idea about what the purpose of interrupt register. So interrupt register consists of flag bits, okay, for match interrupt and capture interrupt. It contains 4 bits each for match and capture interrupt. Here 0 bit to 3 bit in the IR register are used for match register interrupt, that is bit 0 for MR0 interrupt, bit 1 for MR1, bit 4 to 7 are used for capture register interrupt. Bit 4 is used for CR0, then bit 5 for CR1, okay, and so on, right? Total 8 bit register is 8 bits are present, okay. Out of that 8 bit, 4 bits are given for match and 4 bits are given for capture. Getting my point? So this bit status is given below, okay, in the status register, okay, नीचे आपको यहाँ पर देके रखा है. If an interrupt is triggered, then the corresponding bit in the IR register is set to 1. Manually we will write a logic 1 on the bit of the IR register, will reset the interrupt. Writing a 0 has no effect, right? So here everything is shown whatever I said you. Now we go for the next register, that is timer control register, TCR. Timer control register is used to control the function of timer or counter. It is used to enable or disable or reset the timer or counter. Timer control register is used to control the function of timer or counter. It is used to enable or disable or reset the timer counter when the first bit, that is TSR 0, is 0, timer counter and prescaler counter are disabled. When the first bit is 1, the counter is enabled. When the second bit, that is TSR1, is 1, both the counter are reset on the next positive edge of the peripheral clock and remain reset until the second bit is set to 0. बात समझ में आ रही ना? ओके, यहाँ आपको टाइमर काउंटर को एनेबल और डिसेबल कैसे करना है, हाउ टू यूज इट, ओके, दैट इज गिवन. सो अगेन आपको नीचे देके रखा है मैंने. व्हेन बिट विल बी 0, ओके, इट एनेबल काउंटर. ओके, व्हेन 1, द टाइमर काउंटर एंड प्रीस्केलर आर enabled for counting. When 0, the counter are disabled. Okay, bit 1 is a counter reset. When 1, the timer counter and prescaler counter are synchronously reset on the next positive edge of PCLK. The counter remains reset until TCR is turned to 0. And 2 to 7 bits are reserved. Under software, okay, should not write ones to reserved bits. The value read from the reserved bits is not defined. Now, further registers are like this. Count control register, CTCR. The count control register is used to set either timer mode or counter mode. If counter mode is selected, the counter pin and edges, that is rising edge, falling edge, or both, can be selected using CTCR. Similarly, the second one register is timer counter register, TC. Shortly we will say is a TC. The value in the timer counter register is incremented when the value PC reaches its terminal value as set by the PR register. If the PC is reset before reaching its maximum value, then the TC will count the maximum possible value, that is 0x and FFFF. Since it is a 32-bit register and reset back to 0, this event does not cause an interrupt, but a match register can be used to detect an overflow if needed. Now next one is prescale register. Shortly we will say PR. Prescale register specifies the maximum value for the prescale counter. When the prescaler counter is equal to PR, the TC is incremented on the next clock and PC is cleared, right? Now prescaler counter register, PC. Prescaler counter increment on every peripheral clock to the value stored in the PR when the value in the PC is equal to the value in the PR. PC gets reset and TC is incremented by 1. Okay, remember the concept what the prescaler counter will get activated. So see, I have tried to tell you these things. Okay, TC is incremented by 1 on the next clock cycle. Here one example is given. If PR is equal to 2, then TC is incremented on every third cycle of the peripheral clock. Hence PC defines the resolutions of the timer. Now the next is match control register. Shortly we will say MCR. The match control register is used to control the action to be performed when the value in the match control register, that is MR, matches with the value in the timer counter, that is TC. Here bit 0 to 2 in MCR are used to control the action for MR0 register. Similarly, bit 3 to 5 for MR1 and 6 to 8 are used for MR2, and bits 9 to 11 are used for MR3. Okay, here internal structure of bits with their symbols, their values and their description is given. Okay, now here to continue with this, okay, here after this bit 0, 1 and 2 positions are given. Bit 0, when this bit is 1, an interrupt is triggered. When MR0 is equal to TC, when this bit is 0, the interrupt is disabled. Bit 1, when this bit is 1, TC is reset. When MR0 is equal to TC, when this bit is 0, this feature is disabled. And bit 2, when this bit is 1, the timer counter TC and prescaler counter PC are stopped when the value in MR0 is equal to TC. Also the TC is reset to 0. Now the next register is match register, that is MR0 to MR3. What are its use? See, the match register value are continuously compared to the timer counter value. When the two values are equal, action can be triggered automatically. The action possibilities are to generate an interrupt, it resets the timer and counter, or stop the timer. Actions are controlled by the setting in the MCR register. Then next is capture control register, shortly we will say CCR. The capture control register is used to control whether one of the 4 capture register is loaded with the value in the timer counter. When the capture event occurs and whether an event is generated by the capture event. Last is capture register. It is shortly called as CR0 to CR3. Each capture register is associated with a device pin and may be loaded with the timer counter value. When a specified event occurs on that pin, the setting in the capture control register determines whether the capture function is enabled and whether a capture event happens on the rising edge of the associated pins, the falling edge, or on both edge. Now here configurations is given about the timer, how you can configure in case if you are going for programming. So the steps are listed here for your understanding how you can able to set the configure of the timer. To use the timer we need to first configure them. I would like to encourage the readers or watch viewers to use the following sequence for setting up timers. First point is to set appropriate value in TXCTCR. Then define the prescale value in PR register. Then you can set values in match register if you need it, otherwise no need, don't use these steps. Then set appropriate value in MCR if the match register or interrupt are handled by you. Fifth step is reset timer, which will reset PR and TC. Sixth step is set TCR to 01 to enable the timer when required, and last step is reset TCR to 00 to disable the timer when required, right? So these are the few steps that I given about the timers and counter when you have to configure about. Okay, I hope you will understand the basic idea behind this timer and counter from this video. So these are registers and settings required whenever you are going to handle LPC 2 and 48. So I hope this video will be benefited for you, for your understanding or your further programming. Okay, you can handle these videos. So I would like to say you just give your attendance in the comment box, okay, as well as try to like and share the videos. Thank you very much.